power, guys. I don't know how long my phone will have. 5G with 1.5 bars. So we're just trying to make a go of it.
We have little flashlights, busted out the big old candle.
Yeah,
It'd be like Girl
That's
Scouts
crazy.
camping. We can tell ghost stories.
I see nobody's on here yet, but maybe they gotta find us.
Oh my gosh.
Try to set this up on a pod here.
I can't believe it. There's like
It's crazy.
all day long it looked like it might rain. And then as soon as we hit the go live button, bam!
Thunder.
And we're under tornado warning until what, for another, I think 20 minutes last
Yeah.
I saw.
This stick's not even going well. Because of the thing that's on the back,
Oh,
this one doesn't fit on there well.
goodness. Well,
The other one was in the Jeep, and it was thunderstorming so bad I couldn't even go to the Jeep.
hello.
If you hold that, I'll go out there and I'll get the other one. We might have to live out on the porch to get some light.
I know, at least it looks like the rain has stopped,
I slowed down.
but it was pretty bad. The power went out. We're under tornado warning. So, and we couldn't get the computer to reboot. We tried using a hotspot with that. So finally, we just ran it from the phone and we have flashlights out. So, you know, trying to do the best we can here. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. And they're supposed to be having like a neighborhood little party tonight. I don't know if that's going to happen with this crazy weather. So anybody done any ghost stories? And we don't even have our microphone, but at least hopefully, sorry it's so dark, y'all. Oh, so how's it been? We've been doing pretty good. Should have bought those candles, right? We should have bought a ton of candles. We even had a lantern and it was out in the RV because we didn't bring it back in the house from our trip to Chattanooga. And oh, we could use that right now.
We might have to move out to
I think we might have to move out to the porch for sure because it's pretty dark.
the side porch.
Okay.
Stand by. I'm going to try to get us hooked up here. All right, we're just going to move it outside. It's not raining right now, so we're going to use the side porch because it's got more light. Whoo! All right. Okay, I'm here. You coming?
You don't think the other porch would be any good?
I don't know if
Oh
there'd
my
be light on the
goodness.
other porch. You want to try it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we got nowhere to sit here. All right, we'll try the other porch.
We're gonna take a tour of the house.
I think there might be enough light. I just hope there's enough signal. Because the signal here usually uses the amplifier, but the power's out. Oh, you don't turn around? Okay.
Yeah, there's more light behind.
Okay. I hope we keep a signal.
Well, we'll do the best we can. Thank you again for your patience during all these little struggles. Like I said, everything was fine until we hit that.
Okay, we're back.
Oh my goodness.
Can you guys see us okay? Losing it.
I know it's still a little dark, but it's better than inside the house.
Yeah.
This is going to be a challenge. Where are you going with my stuff?
Well, I gotta lose the table or I can't get in the picture.
I'll put it right there.
You put it right here.
Oh. And it's much cooler out here because it was getting a little warm inside the house.
Ooh, okay, here we go.
Okay, so
We better talk fast because I don't know how long we got it.
let's start over again. Hello, everybody.
So we are under a flash thunderstorm warning, which we just had. There may be more. And we're under a tornado warning until 4:45. local time, which is about another hour or so. So
Yeah, the phones have been going off, run, take cover, and we're like, we don't really have anywhere to take cover too, so we'll just say a quick prayer and hopefully everything is good. God's got our six, so we'll be all right.
sorry for being late, but
But thank you everybody for having patience, and
I was trying to think of a way. Is there a way to get power to the internet? It's like we need a 110 plug that runs on. You know, I have backup battery bank, but I don't think it has a 110 plug. And I'm sitting there thinking. It's like, well, why don't we hotspot the phone? So we tried that,
and then the computer started
Yeah.
updating and
and
it
I'm
shut
like,
off,
oh my goodness,
and
it's updating.
everything that could go wrong, I guess, did, right?
Yeah.
And
Except
here
we didn't
are.
get the tornado, so that's
Well, that's good, right?
good. Yeah.
So that's the least of what could have happened wrong. So we'll take it. So thank you all for joining us, and thank you for the moderators I see on here,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
crawl space.
Yeah, with the spiders and
Ooh,
the groundhog.
I don't know if he'd let you move into his territory.
Yeah.
And we wanted to say it's Memorial Day weekend,
Yes.
so
So
What does
Memorial
that
Day weekend means that you're remembering those that commit sacrifice. It's for those who have died in the act of protecting the country.
and we want to thank all of our soldiers, past and present, for their service and what they do for us. I know a lot of people just look at these holidays as a reason to have a party, have a barbecue, and days off from work and have fun with friends, which that's all good to have, but don't forget the real reason to be celebrating this day. It's more of a remembrance of things that have been done for us. And I think we need to take more time to reflect on different things like that. So,
Oh, we're going in and out at times.
woo, woo.
Okay, well, hopefully there's more in than out.
We're live.
And
We're not live.
Thank
We're
you
live.
for the
We're
well
not
wishes
live.
with the service. I appreciate that.
So we hope everybody is enjoying their time with family and friends over this weekend, and everybody is safe with all this crazy weather going on,
Yeah.
because you just never know what's going to happen.
Nope. You
So-
don't know.
Just try to do the best you can and don't take life too seriously.
Heather, can you hear us?
We're checkered. Is that cool these days to be checkered?
Maybe if you're a Tennessee fan, they got a checkered.
Are you pixelated?
Yeah, it looks good on our end, but we're not on the receiving end. We're on the broadcasting end.
Right.
And if the power comes back on, I can connect to the Wi-Fi and that'll fix everything up. But it's not back on yet.
I don't suspect it will be. The power
No.
does go out pretty easily
It
here.
goes out very easily.
So that was one thing, I guess, in Florida, we didn't have that problem a lot. And when the power did go out, they would get it up and running fairly
Yeah.
quickly. Ooh, we're shapeshifters.
Ooh,
Nice. Well, I hope I'm shifting into a nice shape.
we're
Nice
scrambled.
and svelte.
Yeah, I like my eggs scrambled.
Oh my goodness. You have to laugh. You know, life will throw all kinds of stuff at you, but you gotta laugh. Don't take it too seriously or you'll really be all tied up in knots.
Yeah.
And that's not good for your system at all. So it's been like 2 weeks since we've been live. This past 2 weeks really flew by. So we've been doing a lot of stuff around here as usual. And we're on the phone.
We're on the phone and we're just using the cell towers. So we have no internet right now.
No, we have no generator.
No.
Perhaps we should get one.
Well, there's one in the RV, but it's attached to the RV.
True. But we've spent a week in Chattanooga. That was a load of fun.
A lot of hiking we did mostly. A lot
I
of
really
hiking.
like that area. There's so much stuff to do, outdoor stuff, and really all over Tennessee there's a ton of things to do with hiking and caverns and waterfalls, which is what I love to do, and mostly all those things are free to do, which they should be. The shame is when you do go to places like that, everything can get quite expensive pretty fast. So you got to choose one or two pay things and try to mix in other things. Otherwise, you'll go broke really quick. And I'd like to go back to that area.
Yeah. Lookout Mountain is really nice. We went up there.
Gorgeous.
And on the very top, there's actually a national park up there.
Yeah, Point
And
Park.
so, my national park pass got us both in for free. Ordinarily, I think it's a $10 cover. And then there's the parking too, is kind of tight up there.
Which there's a ton of stuff to do on Lookout Mountain.
There is.
There's even 2 states on Lookout Mountain.
There is, yeah.
But you've got the Incline Railway, which is closed at the moment due to a fire. Mm-hmm. You've got Ruby Falls
is the big attraction.
Rock City.
Yeah.
Just a ton of stuff to do. We went hiking at Glen Falls on Lookout Mountain and saw waterfalls. We did go to Point Park, and there was a couple other little trails that we were hiking. It was a little slippery because it was pretty wet, and I think we didn't bring our hiking shoes, left them in the RV because we didn't even plan to go hiking that day, and just spur of the moment went hiking.
You gotta put them in a Jeep, I think.
I think so, because I wiped out on the one hike, and I'm surprised I didn't totally twist my ankle because it was pretty messy. But thank God I bounced back from that and didn't get hurt seriously. But it was really slippery. And the poison ivy. Wow.
It's alive and well in Tennessee, I can tell you.
It should be like the state plant.
It's everywhere.
I had a ton
I
of
don't know how we didn't catch it.
Thank God we didn't, because I'm so allergic. And there were some trails where it was like really tight and you had to walk sideways and you're lifting your legs up over stuff. I thought for sure I was going to get it because I wasn't wearing long pants either.
The only generator we have is in the RV, and the RV is about 100 feet away from the hub in here. And I can't run the generator with the RV inside the garage, so I'd have to pull it out. I mean, there's a lot you'd have to do. It would probably take me 30 minutes to set that up. The RV is tucked away and in the garage, and it takes a little bit of maneuvering to get it out.
Well, it took about 30 minutes just to get the phone in
Yeah.
order. Plus, it was so bad outside when that was happening, you couldn't even go outside.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
sorry if the video isn't coming through. Hopefully you can still hear us, and we can try to schedule another one. It won't be today, but we can try to schedule another one maybe, in the coming days or next week. But if you can hear us okay, just go with that. So you can watch your favorite show on TV and have an earbud in.
Oh,
We're doing the best we can. If I see the lights come on,
But the weather has cleared up quite a bit outside anyway.
it's cleared up a little bit, yeah. It was
But
coming down
It
sideways.
may take a while for the power to come back on.
It's probably a tree down, so probably there's going to have to be someone dispatched.
Even when we were in Chattanooga, we got word on our phones that the power went out here. It happens
Thank
all
you,
the
Heather,
time.
for what you're doing there. I see what you're doing.
So it just happens all the time.
It does go out here pretty easily. The forecast of a thunderstorm, and you can expect to lose power.
And the great thing about Chattanooga is it's so close to us. I
It
didn't
is.
even realize how close it was. So I'm super stoked about that because I definitely want to go back there. There's so much to do. I feel like we didn't even chip away that much of everything. But we stayed at a nice campground there. Want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, we can. We stayed at, I thought I wrote it
Shell
down.
Mound.
Shell Mound.
Which is funny because there's one in Cedar Key called
Shell
Shell
Mound.
Mound. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, we just can't get away from that area, now, can we?
It's a TVA ran park. So the people that run it manage it, but they don't own it. And I believe we did a video on it. We just haven't released it yet. But pretty good price, $35 a day. And if you stay a week, you get 1 day free. And you're located, your sites are right on the Tennessee River. And you're about 20 minutes from downtown Chattanooga. So it was in a good location for us to just drive into Chattanooga each day and not stay in Chattanooga.
Yeah, since we're kind of stuck in this area, I say stuck, but it's a good place to be stuck. For the summer, I thought that maybe we could
Hi, Donald.
maybe we could just do like a week out of every month in different areas close by and really explore the area without having to come home every day. So it's going to be a good plan for this summer. And we'll go do a bunch of different stuff like that.
Now, if the rain picks up, it's going to get really loud here because it's a tin roof.
So speak up, Brett.
Yeah, I'm trying to speak up. I'm yelling, hey.
I love that campground because it had a ton of big trees and it was like you were really camping and you were in nature, and we were right on the water with a beautiful mountain view. So it was just gorgeous. And the people were so super friendly. The only bad thing about that campground is it didn't get good internet service.
No, it didn't.
Everything else was great. Lots of birds chirping. Other than that, pretty quiet.
Some great estate sales, though. I think we went to about 4.
Yeah, there
Four
were
or five.
so many in that area. And I'm
one
like,
of them was phenomenal. Like, I wish I went back.
Did I get a small waffle maker yet? I may have.
I'll be back.
I'm gonna go grab the mail.
Yep.
What else in that area that was so much fun? Yeah, the estate sales, I couldn't believe how many there were. And of course, Brett had a field day at the survivalist one. I never thought I was gonna drag him out of there. And I've never seen him want to spend that much money. So it was a lot of fun. I definitely can't wait to go back to that area and do more. We did go on a riverboat cruise and dinner, and that was for my birthday that Brett had planned. So the dinner was great. We went to the Mayor's Mansion Inn, and it was delicious. And again, the people were so friendly there. The boat cruise, they could use a little revamp on the boat cruise.
The Savannah Riverboat cruise was much better.
Yeah. And the most fun we went on was the one in Alaska. I believe that campground at Loretta Lynn's Ranch is still in operation, and that's another place that's on my list of where I'd love to go. Because who doesn't love Loretta? It's just a gorgeous lady with a beautiful voice. Like I said, there's so many places I want to go to just in Tennessee.
I'm sorry. I thought you were wrapping that up. Go ahead.
So that'll be great that we can go to these different places for a week at a time and explore.
So, are you guys able to see picture okay? If not, I'll talk through it. We got this kind of turquoise green My Mini waffle maker.
Yes, and that one came from I Have My Favorites. Thank you so much, because I've got big plans for the mini waffle maker. What I want to do with them, I don't know if anybody's heard of chaffles, where you put cheese and eggs in there and you can make like a sandwich to do low carb eating, or the carnivore diet. So I want to try that, or even putting shredded chicken in there to make like a different kind of sandwich without using bread. And I really ultimately wanted 2 mini waffle makers, so score, I did get 2 because
we got this one from Jason. Thank you, Jason.
Also sent this one.
It's a pumpkin.
And it's a pumpkin because he knows how much I love pumpkin waffles. And it's also the Tullahoma Volunteers.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
I always
orange.
say Tullahoma, but it's Tennessee orange. So I was like, when I got my favorite sent one too, I was like, this is great because I really wanted 2, because then you can make the 2 chaffles at once to make your sandwich.
Yeah, we do eat quite a few waffles. I think we're having waffles at least once a week. And we usually make extras so that we can just toast or pop them.
Yeah, but the mini ones are going to be different.
Yeah.
So I was so stoked to get those. Thank you, Jason. And I Have My Favorites. So it was so sweet of you guys to think of us. It was super special birthday presents. And what else? Oh, my cool mug.
This is a mug from my stepmother.
For my birthday, she got me this mug. She knows I love The Chosen. I don't think you can read it. You have to read
It says, I have only one thing to do today. And then on the other side it says, follow him. It's kind of hard to read.
Yep,
so.
and it's the beautiful teal color
Teal
that I
blue
love.
with the black outside mug. It's a smaller mug.
So, I'm
Very nice.
so happy to see that. And, that's one of the things in life that we sometimes do is make everything so complicated, make so many lists, and just wear ourselves out thinking of all the different things that we need to do. And we don't really take time to be still
Hi, Amy. Thanks for joining us.
and just enjoy life. And we just feel like we need to busy ourselves up. But, if you keep life simple and just put your focus on God, you're going to have a good day. The first part of your day you should give to God, and the last part of your day you should give to God, and the whole time in between.
If you're just joining us, we did have to abandon the laptop setup for today's live because of a thunderstorm knocked the power out. So we are on our phone and we're doing it from the porch so that there is a little bit of light. Otherwise, the cabin's kind of dark. You can't see very well. So we're not on an internet here. We're using the cell phone tower, so we hope that the signal holds up. It's not it's 5G service, but we only get 1 or 2 bars of service.
So thank you so much, Kate, for this beautiful cup. And if anybody hasn't seen The Chosen, you should really check it out because
Yeah.
it helps bring the Bible to life, so you can really visualize
We watched
things.
a good movie last night that was really good. It was something about Champion. What was it called?
The Champion?
Is it The Champion?
I don't know.
It was, oh man, what was the name of the channel it was on? Pure Flix.
Hi, Georgie. Yeah, it got rough. Did it get rough over by you? I bet it did too.
Yeah. Pure Flix was showing something about a champion, but it's a very good story about a wrestler who comes back. Well, he makes it all the way through the small town in eastern Washington, and he goes to the Olympics. He gets to the Olympics. He wins the gold medal, I think, in '96, if I'm correct, and he gets stripped of the medal because of performance-enhancing drugs. So he never makes it back to his hometown. He's ashamed of what he had done, made a bad decision. 20 years later, goes back to his home because his mother passes away, and he's trying to take care of the estates. And he ends up being asked to coach the wrestling team. And he ends up, I won't spoil the end, but it is a phenomenal movie. It's got a lot of action in it. And it's faith-based, too. So it's really good. I enjoyed that movie. It was worth noting.
I want to show you the mug that Brett
Oh.
decided he needed to get because he's trying to copy off me.
This is a big mug.
This is the biggest mug in existence. And he got that in a estate sale, I think, for about $1.50.
$1.50, and we went to a Cracker Barrel the other night. We were not very impressed with the food quality, but the service was good. But they sell these mugs in there for $15.
Well, the ones they
what a heck
had
of
were
a
like
deal.
$8, but they weren't as heavy.
Yeah,
So that one, I think, it's older and it's much more heavy.
yeah.
But he's been giving me such crap about my big coffee
It's
mugs.
printed on both sides, but I like the weight of it.
So he went and found the biggest coffee mug ever.
It's a big one.
It is
It's
huge.
about 4 pounds.
The problem I have
It's
with his
heavy.
big coffee mug is now he's dipping into my coffee supply. So we're going to have some problems with that, I can see. Because I thought that this cup looked big. Now, look at these together. No, don't try to skew the image here. So, I think he's drinking all my coffee. This could be a marital problem in the making.
Now look, the sun's trying to
I'm
come
going to
out.
have to find a bigger mug. The quest is on,
The sun came out, but the lights are still out too.
right?
So.
This should be my cup.
You
I'm
can
going to
even-
have to commandeer this cup.
The good news when a storm ends, you can tell because the birds, the atmospheric pressure, the birds feel that. And you start hearing the birds, then the storm is over, at least for the moment.
Look at these two next to each other.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
like a
little-
little baby. And the big daddy.
Right?
So, yeah, I'm going to have to find an even bigger mug. You might even need a bigger coffee pot. Not that I think they make them, but
Oh, we were busy yesterday. We made a workbench in the side room of the garage, and we love the way it turned out. We videoed that, so look for that video to come out shortly in a DIY. We're still working also on these Stairway to
Trees.
Heaven trees. I was going to pull it up on my phone, but we're using my phone. But if you look at the Stairway to Heaven trees, they are an invasive species from China and Thailand, and they put poison into the ground and kill other trees as well. Well, we have a whole flock of them on the other side of the garage, and still got a few behind us that I still need to take out. But we probably took 20.
Ooh, Michigan cherry coffee.
We probably took out 25 trees or so.
Well, I'm glad our checkered past is behind us.
And Jason,
now you can
yes.
see us correctly.
I did put the bench grinder on the bench after we had messaged one another, but I haven't attached it to the bench yet. So it is there. I put it right in the middle. And it's going to work great. So we got the chainsaw chain sharpener on there. We got the vise on there. And the bench grinder still needs to be mounted. The other two are mounted.
And I gotta finish cleaning up that room still.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
still trying to sell the rest of my items on eBay. I want to say I have like 5 totes worth of stuff still. And then I can close that chapter of my life. And so with traveling, it's too hard to do that. So when I lived in Otter Creek, I used to sell stuff on eBay because we were buying storage units here and there and just doing stuff and selling stuff on Marketplace. But this is just what I have left over. So I'm trying
Oh,
to get
good.
rid of that to clear out the room.
Good, James. Glad to see the pictures
Hey,
better.
James. So that'll give us a nice little room to store stuff in, and Brett can have his workshop.
Thank you, Nancy.
Hopefully in the next coming weeks we'll finish up some of the projects we have around here, because next month we're going to spend a week around Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg.
Yep.
I have some family coming in, so I'm going to meet up with them. My sister and my 2 nieces are coming in for the week, and we're going to go explore the town around there.
Oh,
So
good, Michelle.
I can't wait to do that. I haven't been to that area probably, oh my goodness, it's probably been somewhere between 12 and 15 years now. Time really does fly and get away from you.
Yeah, it may have been longer since I've been through there, and I didn't stay. We just drove through.
Thank you, Nancy.
It'll be really a first visit for me. I don't remember any of it.
I've watched The Chosen. I still have to watch the
The
last
last-
season we haven't seen.
Right.
I don't know if that's different from The Chosen one. I don't know.
I think there's 5 in that series so far, but the 5th one went to a different network. It was on Angel Studios, and they left and went to another network. So I don't know where they are now. Oh, it just got
How'd you
back.
like it?
How was it?
How was Gatlinburg? Yeah, I'm excited to go there and also see my family some more and see what kind of hiking and other fun things we can get into over there.
Yep.
And in July, we're going to spend a week in Savannah again, because my sister and my 2 nieces are going to be going with the Girl Scout troop over to do some activities. So we're going to go down there for a week.
And the founder of the Girl Scouts is in Savannah.
Yeah, Juliet Lowe.
So that's why Savannah.
So I look forward to that. And then another, I don't know which month we're going to do it, but I want to stay near Nashville for a week so we can go explore that area.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I've got a few things planned, and we need to start booking up for winter time to go down to Florida.
Yeah.
That's going to be coming up soon. Everything flies so fast, the time does.
It does. We're trying to stay a couple weeks maybe in Charleston Air Force Base. I've never been there. And then kind of work our way down. Patrick Air Force Base is another one we'd like to hit. It's right on the water. And then finally down in Key West. We'd like to stay a month if we can. And then over to coming back up to MacDill, possibly. Not as long there, because it's kind of a built-up area. And then maybe out toward Eglin Air Force Base. There's like 4 different bases you can stay out there. In fact, a neighbor told us we should stay at, oh my goodness, what was the name of it? It's a Corps of Engineers campground. It's supposed to be like 25 or 30 bucks a night, and it's out there near Eglin, out on a spit. So you got water on both sides. But I can't remember the name of it.
Yep, but we'll have to
But,
start booking it all up.
I can find it on the map, then it'll come up.
And eventually, at some point, I really would like to spend some time in Arizona
Yeah.
and check out all the beauty going on there. There's so many cool places I want to see in such little time.
Oh yeah, the big knife store. Yeah.
And eventually, I'd like to go on a real cruise.
Yeah. I've never been on one.
I know. Brett thought he checked it off the list with the dinner cruise.
That doesn't count.
But I said, nope, that doesn't count. I want to go on a real cruise. There's a few places I'd like to go. The Caribbean. I think it would be fun to go to Alaska on a cruise too.
Yeah. You have to make yourself up to Washington though, and to get on that cruise.
That's
But
okay.
yeah, that'd be a fun. I'd like to see the Inner Passage.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And what else you got? Savannah.
I think it would be fun to go to Greece too. Thank you, Nancy. Day 4 after surgery, a little sore. Well, we'll be saying some prayers for you for some speedy recovery.
Yeah. I think the rain is all but stopped here.
I'd love to come back to Alaska.
Yeah, it'd be nice up
Ugh.
there.
I keep thinking back, oh, at this time last year we were in Alaska. So, and then I have all the memories popping up on Facebook with the beautiful
With all the
pictures.
pictures,
And
yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, because we crossed the border last year on my birthday and went right into Alaska on my birthday. So, oh, you're going to enjoy that cruise.
Yeah, that'll be fun for sure.
I'd like to go to Greece on a cruise too. That would be fun.
Yeah. Or the Caribbean.
I
I've
got
never
big
been out there.
plans. Now I just need a big
Plans.
wallet.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to start doing is getting some fishing poles and
Yeah.
tackle, because since we're so close to all this water, I think we should start fishing.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons we wanted to spend some time here in the summer, is that's the reason we got this place. We live on the lake, and we already know in the wintertime this area kind of shuts down. There's not many people that live here full time in the winter, even though I don't think the winters were that brutal. It's just that the lake level drops and the lake's not busy, and a lot of people have private docks, and a lot of their docks are unusable because they're sitting on mud packs. But this place is alive and well this weekend. We've probably seen 30 or 40 boats towed back in here. So all the boats, you can hear them on the water. And we're kind of on a ridge here, and you actually have lake on both sides. You have lake here behind us, of course. You can see down the hill, there's water down there. But across the road, those properties drop off and go down to another part of the same lake as well. So we have water all the way around, on 3 sides anyway. But we're kind of on a ridge, and then you drive off the ridge and then, onto the mainland. But this is a nice area, very nice. The neighbors are super nice. In fact, one of them has a meet and greet your neighbor luau. So we hope to go check that out. That's tonight. So when we get
As
off
long
here,
as the weather cooperates.
yeah. Most people here have golf carts. We don't have the golf cart.
They have golf carts, they have side-by-sides,
Yeah,
they're
they
cruising around the
There goes
neighborhood.
one now. You can probably hear it.
That's a little
It's
side-by-side.
just side by side. But can't
Yeah.
live without fishing, man.
I look forward to doing that because when I was growing up, we used to go fishing all the time, but life kind of gets away from you when you're working all the time, and that's something that quit doing when we started adulting, and
Yeah.
I'd like to get back to doing some more of that.
And with the campground, we were just so busy. We didn't really take the time to go learn how to fish that area.
That's the problem when you're working, you kind of get lost in all the working and you quit taking time to do the things that you should. And stopping and enjoying the world around you is one of the things you should definitely make time for, because you'll work yourself right into the grave. That's
Yeah.
for sure. I remember growing up when I lived in the Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale area, we used to drive every weekend to go down to the Keys just to go fishing for this time period. And we'd go out to the Everglades and go fishing. We used to fish all the time, and it was so much fun. And then You grow up, you get your job, you start having kids, and work, work, work.
Yeah.
So now it's
Crazy.
time to get back into some of those fun hobbies. So we will be looking for those type of items at estate sales and yard sales. Hopefully we can find them. I'm sure we've passed up a lot of those items at previous sales. Of course.
Yeah. But some of those things we're seeing over and over. You know, there's fishing poles at a lot of these estate sales, so you just have to. And I'm checking Marketplace, and I don't know how much. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the name brands and the quality of reels, so I'd like to get a decent reel. It doesn't have to be top of the line, because I'm not fishing in a tournament or anything. But I'd like something reliable that's going to work all the time. You know, when we need it. So I don't mind spending a little. I always look for a good value. It's not about how much you spend on something. Like, wow, that was $100. Well, it's about value. Was it worth $100? That's what's more important.
I've always used the open face ones.
Yeah, I've done the. You know, you grab the line and you flip the thing over and cast, and then what seems to be the better ones, and I don't know the terminology, so I'm having to learn all this, is the center face spinners. I guess the line comes off the center and goes straight out. Like, again, I'm not familiar with them.
Zeb code 33 closed.
Most of the Zebco reels are just push a button and release, right? They're inside of a canister. I know I've always had problems with those, but maybe they're better now. It's been a long time since I fished
Probably.
with those. Yeah.
I'm sure they've improved.
The string used to always get tangled in there, and you had to remove the cover and play with the line.
I'd like to catch some walleye and try that, because everybody talks about how delicious walleye is, but they say they're super hard to catch.
Very evasive fish and very particular fish. Hard to catch them.
Sounds like a good challenge, but I haven't tried any. I know my sister talks about it in Ohio. They get a bunch, and she says it's absolutely delicious, so I'll definitely try some of that.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of different fish in the lake around here, I know that. Pixelated.
Pixelated. Well, yeah, we've been kind of doing a lot of, projects around the house. A bunch of little projects that don't always make a video by themselves, but she saves them up, and then we'll collage them together. And
Yeah, one of these days I need to do like a mashup. I still need to finish doing a couple of projects to finish a video or two, just to get them off my phone. I have so many little videos, but yeah, I need to do just like a mashup and send it out.
yeah, so some of the little things that we've done is, like, I moved an electric box that was outside the screen on the porch and moved it to inside the screen so you could actually use it. We put a screen door, a retractable screen door on the front door. So now we can leave the back door and the front door open. So we like to do that because this creates an open living space on the back porch where we are right now. And we love this area. You can hear, in fact, I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear boat traffic already. There's a boat behind me going along the water, but you can hear it all the time.
And we need to get out on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done that enough
We've been
either.
waiting for a good hot day, and then we get one, and then it starts, storms are coming in. It's like, well, I ain't going out there in a storm.
Another project is we need to replace the carpet on the boat.
Yes.
So that's going to be,
The boat itself is in pretty good shape, although it's an older model. But the carpet needs to be replaced. It's like, if we can lift all these items that are screwed down to the decking up, and then put a carpet or put another linoleum-based flooring down, and then put it all back. It sounds like a lot of intensive work, but it doesn't sound like it's very hard. I just think it'll take a lot of time.
I don't think it'll be that bad once you get down to it. I think the bigger problem is getting you to purchase some of the flooring to put down on it. I think that's the bigger challenge.
No, I just need to go and take measurements.
All right, we'll put that on your list.
Put it
Brett's
on your
always
list.
looking for a project, so, but some of the projects he avoids like the plague,
Ollies. We got ollies here.
because that project has been needing to be done since the day I met him. So he's been putting that off for over 5 years. It's like the bathroom sink. We bought a faucet over 6 months ago,
I still have
and
it.
he's putting that off. So I'm like,
I did the one in the kitchen because that one really annoyed me. Isn't that a little clip too that we have to smash up?
yeah.
But that one went in so quick and easy. I was
The
like,
bathroom one annoys me.
yeah, the
Maybe I'm
bathroom
gonna have to
one,
just do it myself.
you gotta get your shoulder. You gotta lay on your back. You gotta get your head up into the cabinet.
Get your head in the
space.
game.
And then there's a lip. So that lip, you have to get your shoulders up on top of that lip, and that's just not a comfortable position for your spine to go like this.
We'll put a cushion there.
So you got to work fast because it hurts while you're doing it. But the bathroom faucet, we're going to a 2 faucet system. I think they're more reliable. I think they're better. Plus, you can control the temperature better than a 1. Right now, it has a single faucet, and you move it left for hot and right for. I don't like them because the mixing valves, they sometimes leak and fail, and this one is leaking. That's usually what happens to it.
Yeah, so I give a 2-week deadline for that, and if it's not done, I'm just gonna do it myself.
I'll do it.
We'll see. I have to throw out some threats here. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
But yeah, I definitely love all the stuff we've done around here. And I always say I don't think there's really that much more to do, but Brett finds something else. He doesn't know how to relax.
because somebody had suggested in the chat when we did the gutter on the garage, to put an extension at the bottom, and I did that the other day, and it carries the water further down the trough, and it works pretty good. I can see it.
Yeah,
I'm
you're right,
looking because I
Heather.
can see it from here. And it just rained, and I was watching it. I was like, oh, that works pretty good. So thanks for that tip. Yep. But we're almost a year into the purchase of the property, and we really like it here.
I cannot believe it's been,
That long already.
no.
Is there anything we might have done different? I love the area. We can't ask for better neighbors.
The whole thing was a surprise to me. I was just enjoying Alaska, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden, Brett says, I found a place we're buying. So, and then it was all of a sudden, well, we're going to have to leave Alaska early because we need to go close on this place.
Yeah, I know Jeremy has a lot of reels, but guess what? They're 8 hours away from here. That doesn't help me. I get that. We get that.
Hopefully,
a lot.
by the time we go down to Florida, we've already gotten some.
Yeah, we only need 2 or 3.
And I don't know that
Maybe
we'll
4.
be in Ohio again anytime soon.
Yeah. So
But you never know, because sometimes you just end up somewhere
the golden
at the
voice.
drop of a hat.
I've not heard of the golden voice yet.
I want to watch The War Room, because I think
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen bits and pieces of it, but I
think I've
never
seen it.
watched the whole thing in its entirety. But I'd like to see that one again. There's some good movies. And there's some really bad movies lately.
Yeah. For those of you that haven't seen it, I know we've shown some of the members this, and I was trying to do a member video this week, but we didn't have good enough signal where we were camped. And then when we were camped, we were busy doing other things, hikes and estate sales.
We
But
did do a members only when we were in Chattanooga in the sculpture fields.
Okay, I just wanted to show this back porch a little bit because people were talking about the porch. So the entry to the porch, you have 2 entries to the porch. You can enter through here, and you have a little area outside the screen that you can sit if you choose. I can show it better over here. I hope I don't lose signal moving the phone around. But you can, there's the stairs up into the front of the house, and then you can come in this way, and it's screened all the way down. So you can see it's screened all the way, and we had to do some repairs on this screen, but it's all screened off now. And then here's the door, the center door to the house. So we often have 2 windows open. We often have one over here open and then one on the other side. And then the front door is usually open, and sometimes the upstairs front windows are open if it's not raining. But a lot of these windows can stay open even if it rains, because the rain on the side of the house, the roof comes down so low you can't put an exterior swinging door on it. Because, I mean, it almost hits my head. I don't have to duck, but it almost. So the pitch of the roof comes down so low it covers the side window on this side. On this side's the chimney. We don't have any windows. On this side we have 2 windows. They're small, but there's 2 windows. But the rain can't blow in those windows unless it's coming in sideways, which it was for a few minutes.
It was
We had to
crazy
run
out
and
here.
go shut them. But now they're open again.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time out here on the porch.
Yeah,
and
we do.
it's like a little bird sanctuary because you can always hear the birds out here chirping. This is like our favorite place to be. I really would like to get like a Chase lounge out here. I probably would sleep out here.
And kind of hard to see. Can you see that little patch right there?
That little patch of water.
Yeah, there's some limbs, but they're way down the hill. They're probably 300 feet down.
And it's pretty steep. Even
the
though
water.
it doesn't look that steep, when you get down there walking, it's steep.
Yeah. Now, in the winter months, you can see the water all the way out and around. There's an island right here.
You can even see like a mountain.
Yeah, it'll go out and all the way around. You can see it. But for summertime, when the leaves are in, you can just see a patch right here. So technically, it is water view. It is not water access.
Right. I just like the feeling that you're out here in nature and you have all the trees. It's almost like a little tree house. I love that feeling. So I just love being out in nature. It's my favorite place. That's why I like to go on hikes. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Another thing I can't wait to do, which every time you go on a trip, you figure out what you need to bring next time to perfect it. And we have a couple of those camelbacks where you can put water in it and wear it on your back, and it's got the hose. So I got to get those cleaned up because those would be great for hiking, because it was pretty humid on a lot of the hikes that we went in Chattanooga. Luckily it was very shaded, but it got very humid, and I did not even bring my water with me on the hikes. We didn't wear the right shoes.
Well, sometimes we don't think we're going to walk that far. We go a half mile or a mile, and then we end up, well, let's go to the end. And we end up going 2 miles out. Well, now you got to go 2 miles back.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, we should always pack our hiking shoes. We should always pack our camelbacks, all these different things, because you just never know what kind of adventure you're going to go do on the fly. So.
Yeah, we had a hammock out here, but we were pretty disappointed with it's a fold-up hammock, and the support structure of it is really a crappy design.
And it sat so low.
And it sagged
It
really
was just
bad,
horrible.
So we just kind of ditched it. We need to get a regular hammock that you can hook on real hooks, and I think that would be nice, because we could drill them right into the side of the house.
Well, I want to get like a Chase lounge.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I like this other little hammock pod chair thing here, but
Oh, yeah.
it's supposed to be for 2 people, but
It's kind of small for 2 people. Now, we took the cushions off of it because it was pouring in on them, but there are cushions for it.
that thing is really comfortable.
It is, and it bounces. It's on springs.
If I found another one cheap enough, I'd get another one of those.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Or a Chase lounge. We'll see. But sometimes the patio furniture is just ridiculous. Like, have you ever seen the bed swings that they have? That's like a big porch swing, but it's a bed. Those they want at least $500 for. Every time we've seen any of those, and that's an awful lot to spend. And then you got to hang it and all that other stuff. But I think a Chase lounge would be a better way to get around that, and you don't have to hang it. So
Now, we don't want to crowd the porch.
no,
We want there to be more open walk space, and there's good walk. I think it's the perfect size right now.
there was a huge table in here, and we took that
Oh,
out
yeah.
because we're just never going to use a table that big, because it's just the
And
two
it
of
was
us.
Heavy.
It was super heavy.
It took up about a quarter of the porch.
And even when we have guests, like, we're not going to have
people,
a
10
whole
people.
load of people. We'll just have a couple few at a time. So we really don't need a table that large or heavy clogging up the whole porch. I mean, we have more than enough chairs out here as it is.
We have one folding table right here in front of us. We use it.
Yeah, those are pretty perfect.
We like these tables because they're so versatile. See, we got a little wooden table that's usually between the chairs, but so we could get in the picture, we just moved it in front and put the chairs together. But we like these tables. We have several of them, and we use them, and we take them down, and they're easy to move around.
Yeah, and that's a bonus because you can use them all around the house when you're doing little projects. So I really like those.
Even the table that we use inside the house when we're doing the lives, you know, when we had internet, it's a fold-up camping table. So we fold it up and we slide it behind the couch, and that's where it stays, and then we pull it out for the live. But we don't leave the living room set up for a live. We have to set it up.
I love that camping table. I've gotten so much use out of that thing throughout the years. And I use it for when I'm taking pictures for my eBay stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It comes in handy for so many things. But if we were having a bunch of people out, we could take that out onto the porch and sit around it.
Yep. It'd be enough.
So,
Yep.
It's pretty perfect. But I don't want to go buying one of those huge outside living room sets of furniture. No. I think that's a little overkill for what we need.
Now, you know, you may have heard me say this before, but we didn't want to buy this much house. You know, could we have gotten a little bigger house? Maybe, but we didn't want this much house. We wanted this much house so that we had enough financial room to travel, because it costs money to travel. And you can't rely on what YouTube does for you or doesn't do for you, because since we've decided not to cover a lot of the lawsuit cases that a lot of channels are covering, they're doing pretty well because they're covering stuff people want to watch, but it's not healthy for us. So when it affects us, we'll talk about it, but when it doesn't, we try not to talk about it, because really it just gets you upset and frustrated, and it's not a good way to live. And so
we left that area for a reason. It wasn't good for our health, so I don't like to
dwell on it.
Bring it back up, live in it. I want to enjoy life and not all the drama.
Now, we understand a lot of people like to see that, because I mean, if you don't believe it, you can go to the videos and look. When we have an Otter Creek meeting,
well,
you get 30,000 views.
It's a lot easier when you're sitting on the sidelines watching in. We were actually part of all that. We were intertwined in all that. It's a lot different when you're the ones actually sitting in on the situation.
It is different.
And you have all the stress and anxiety of the situation. So a lot of times now people will send different stuff about what people are saying and what's going on, and news to me, because I don't keep up on any of it. I don't know what the heck is going on with any of that stuff, and I'm better for it. Because I don't have the stress and anxiety related to any of it. I don't think about any of it anymore. It doesn't bother me. I don't care what people are saying about me. I don't have any of that going on.
Because here's kind of the way I thought about it. Now, she saw it that way the whole time, and she had to kind of pull me over. And I knew she was right. It's just kind of hard to let go. Because when you look at the numbers, an Otter Creek meeting gets 30,000 views. This video will probably get, at the end of a week, might get 5,000 views if you're lucky. That's quite a substantial difference, right? But
thank you, Amy.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, you're going to be on this earth for about 80 years, average. Okay? If you're living those 80 years in controversy, and you're going back and forth with people, and to what avail? You end up living your life like this, going back and forth. You didn't go out and do the things that you should have done, and now you're on deathbed, or you're getting ready to die, okay, you're getting ready to pass away, and the only thing you've done is gone back and forth with other people your entire life, or you know, you've done unscrupulous things, or, you know, you're an attorney and you're trying to chase ambulances. These things are not healthy. And in the end, they're not going to get you anywhere. Um, you have to live your life. You have to do the things that you enjoy doing. Now, making that workbench, that was fun. I took all day doing it. Could I have done it in a couple hours? Yeah, probably. But I took like 6 hours doing that bench because I enjoyed that. I liked it. I had a ball game on that was playing on my phone, and I'm cutting and I'm filming some of it. And if we can make a video and share that with people, that's what we enjoy doing. It's not going to get 5,000 views, but that's okay. I did it because I enjoyed it. So whatever it does get, I'm very appreciative, and I enjoy doing it. And so it's a win-win, right? I mean, I was happy doing it.
Yeah, he was out of
So-
my hair for 6 hours.
She was over here for most of it, and I was over there. Now you were doing something you don't really like.
Well, I was doing all the eBay listings.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't like it is because I had taken all these pictures and done all these listings before. And when we
It's tedious.
moved, all my pictures got lost. I had to take them all down because I thought we were going to be RVing and all this other stuff. So I had to retake all these pictures. So it was annoying more than anything else because I'm like, ugh. I already had all these pictures before and I don't have them anymore. So that's why it was annoying.
And you got to take all the measurements, the length, the
Yeah,
width, the
and
height.
you know, a lot of people don't realize how
There's a lot
much
of work
time
to
it
it.
takes to actually list stuff on eBay. That's why a lot of people are loving Whatnot so much
Oh, yeah.
better because you don't have to take all those pictures of the item. You show it in front of the camera, and you still have to do, I would guess, the measurements and weights to figure out your shipping.
And
but
you can move a lot of product
it takes
faster
a
with
lot off your plate without having to do all those pictures.
Yeah.
So it is tedious, and once I get rid of all these items, that's not something I'm going to continue to do anymore because that phase of my life is done and over with. If I pick that up again down the road, it's going to be way down the road, but I highly doubt it because it doesn't really go well with traveling. So I don't see that being something I pick back up.
Yeah, and you do all this work. Like, for example, those pair of shoes. How much did you make on those pair of shoes?
I don't know.
Like $5 or something?
I have no idea
Yeah, so I mean,
because I don't even know what I paid for them.
no.
Like I've had these things for so long now and they've been sitting in these totes since we packed up, so I don't even know. At this point it's not even about what I'm making. I'm just trying to
know.
get rid of it without throwing it away.
I understand, but what I was trying to explain is that sometimes all this extra work and you're going to make $5. It's not worth it. You know, your 2 hours of time is worth more than $5. So that's all I was saying. And then you don't know where the buyer is going to live. If they live down the street, great. But if they live in California, you're going to pay a lot in shipping. And everybody wants free shipping, so you have to include that in the price of the item. And, you know, it's just a big, I don't know. It might work well for some people. Our experience hasn't been that it works that great. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Well, I never
goes
put
into
that
it.
as my full-time thing. That was just
Correct.
extra money.
Right.
We had a bunch of different things going on.
Yeah. Now we're trying to unload some things. That table we had in here, we gave that away. There's other stuff that I think I've listed 2 other things locally on Marketplace, and they sold pretty fast. So we had good luck just trying to get rid of some stuff. But you know, people don't want to pay any good money for it. But, yeah, it looks like the weather's nice now. Still don't have any power though. We may not get power till later tonight.
But yeah, going back to having your life dripped in negativity, I'll just put it that way, dripped in negativity.
It's a good way to.
I've had some experiences this past year of seeing people that I haven't seen in many years, people that were very close to me. And when 10 or 11 or so years pass in between seeing these people, and now you see them again and they are much older and they're withering away, it's kind of shocking to see sometimes when people have given up on life and they're saying to you that they look back on their
Thank you.
lives and they don't really see anything great that they've done, and they don't see that they did anything different from their parents, and they don't have anything great contributing factors to talk about. It can be very sad and depressing to see someone you cared so much about be in this light where they're just withering away and essentially waiting to die. And I wouldn't want that for anybody. You should really enjoy every day and make the most of it that you can, and try to share with people kindness and love, and just be a good person and a good steward while you're here, and help people out as much as you can. And that doesn't have to be with money. You can help people out with your kindness, by smiling, by just showing them some love and affection, complimenting people when you're out. This world is so ugly a lot of times, and there's so much negativity, and you see so many people walking through life and they're depressed, and they just don't see any value to themselves. So they don't give anything to anybody else, including themselves. And you could make the difference in their day just by throwing them a compliment or throwing them a smile. And you don't even know the differences you can make for people. It's just sad to sit here and think about the way a lot of people live their life, and essentially what a waste it is. People should put away that negativity and all that hate, and try to find something good to do with your life, and not have all these regrets. You see so many families that are separated for so many different reasons, and years go by where different family members don't speak to each other, or friendships end over miscommunications.
And they're still kind of doing this. And they've been doing this for 10, 20 years.
And it's senseless. It makes no sense. And in the end,
Thank you,
these
Morgan.
people live with so many regrets and waste so many years not talking to each other, because they felt like they were right about something. And that price of being right can be really expensive sometimes. And it makes me sad to see that. So I think people should just spend more time loving on each other and having a better sense of community, being friendly to each other, and heal the relationships, because what else is there? You can't take any of this crap with you when you die.
No matter how successful you are, if you're calling being successful money, or had an easy life, or you have lots of cars, whatever it is, none of that stuff goes with you. It's your relationships that stay with you.
Yeah, the relationships, the love you show each other, those are the important things. That gives you value to your life. So I just wish people would think about that and see that more. And, we all should get over ourselves a little bit, because sometimes the reason people don't talk is just because they don't know how. And it's just awkward, and there's this awkward silence. And if they would just take that step and do it afraid, they'd see that it wasn't that hard. So
Sometimes you just got to change the way you look at things, and don't let other people in your circle, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't let them influence bad behaviors or bad comments or negative. You decide what you want to portray.
So just these experiences I've had this year really have made me think about things, and about, you look back on your life. Of course, I just turned 50, so I always use these big milestone birthdays to really review my life and where I've been and what I've done.
Very welcome, Doreen.
And just look back on things, and throughout the years, what has transpired and what's important. And it's just sad when you get to a point and you talk to people that you haven't talked to in so long, and you just see them in a state and you're just thinking to yourself, what happened? What happened to this person? And you just feel so bad for where they're at and the time you've lost with them. So I just want people to take more of a evaluation of their lives and their friendships and what they could do differently. Yep, I'm over the hill. Now I'm gonna roll down it. But yep, just take some time and show each other some love. And if there's people in your life that you haven't talked to for a long time, maybe
reach out to them.
Just reach out, break the ice, and get over yourself. And sometimes they're the ones in the wrong in your mind, and maybe both of you don't see things correctly, and a little ego gets in the way and those things, but those aren't the things that are important. So
sometimes you gotta
maybe
take
you just
the high
gotta
road.
squash it, and that person might have changed. Maybe there was some rubs in their personality that you had a problem with, but as people get older, sometimes they get a little softer. So
Thank you, Donald.
70, that'll be
Woo!
good.
Yeah.
Say congratulations
Yeah,
whenever we reach these
congratulations.
ages, because I'm like, when I was growing up, I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna make it to 50. It's a rough life, and so much has happened. So sometimes I think, wow, I'm pretty lucky to have gotten this far and
Yeah.
hit that age, but really 50 is not that old.
No.
I don't think. Of course, when you're younger, you're like, woof, that's old.
Right.
Now that I'm 50, I'm like, it ain't that old.
It's not that bad.
But
I'm almost 60. I'll be 58 this year.
all right, Donald. So you'll always be older than me. So you'll have lots of words of wisdom.
That's
See,
right.
that's what age should bring you, is words of wisdom. And maybe we could be better mentors to the younger people around us. I know a lot of times they act like they don't want to hear it and they ain't hearing it, but I can guarantee you they hear more than you think they do.
Well, thank you, Heather.
But I'll get off of my little preaching
Your soapbox.
soapbox,
I
but
still got a baby face. Not quite. You got the baby face.
I don't know about all that.
I'll just look at her. I want to look at a baby face.
Sure. Uh-oh, he's buttering me up for something. Watch out. Goodness. Well, guess it's probably time to wrap this up.
Yeah, at least we got a signal. I'm glad we got
Yep.
on.
Thank you all for hanging out with
Yeah.
us.
Sorry about the delay.
I thought we were just going to sit around and tell ghost stories with our flashlights.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
my
we got more adventures coming up. We do enjoy home. It really almost doesn't feel like home yet. We haven't spent enough time here. So when we come back from a trip, we're always like, oh, we want to put the stuff away, and get the food transferred back over to the fridge, and we just, I don't know, we like it here. It's peaceful.
Yep, and after a couple weeks, I'll be ready to go again.
Yeah, a lot of people this morning, because it was supposed to rain around 1 o'clock. It didn't rain until later, but so we were out there cutting some trees over here, and a lot of people were walking, like more than normal. Usually you'll see a couple or somebody walk every hour or so, but it was like 8 or 9 people walking, and they're all waving, going, "Hi, how you doing? Yeah, trying to get our walk in before it rains." Like, I know that's right, and everybody's just very happy. They're very welcoming, and that's been our experience here in Tennessee. Now, I won't say the whole state's like that, but that's been our experience.
Yeah, next month we'll be heading, thank you, James.
Yeah.
We'll be heading to the Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area for a week. That's our next trip.
Yeah.
And then again in July, we'll be going to Savannah for a week. So just during this summer, we're just going to do quick little week trips every month just to explore some different areas, but still stay close to home, because we don't know with different court dates if we might have to go down to Florida. So we don't want to be too far. And there's tons of stuff to do around here and places to explore. I have a huge list all the time of fun places I want to go to. So that's about what we have planned so far.
And I don't like to
And
talk a
hopefully
whole lot of
Nashville.
sports, because I know a lot of people aren't big sports fans and probably aren't Tennessee fans. But I do want to say congratulations to the Lady Volunteers softball team for making it to the World Series level. At the next level, I believe they have to take on Oklahoma next. but they beat Nebraska in a best of 3, so hats off to them. I was watching that game yesterday, and today was a good game.
Yeah, I was looking to see if there was a post about who was going to be going to that Dollywood event, but I didn't find anything. I don't know who all's supposed to be there. I don't know any of the details.
We don't know any dates. So
Someone said the first week of June, but I don't know any of the details. I know we're supposed to be in that area, but not during that week. So
that's right. Go Vols. That's the way they do it here. Go Vols. It's like a sideways V. Go Vols.
But if anybody has the information, you can email it to me or tell me where to look for it. But I don't know if we're going to be in that area during that week. But should be interesting. The expert, I don't follow anybody.
Yeah, she doesn't follow anybody, and I don't specifically follow them. Sometimes I'll catch something on Tug's channel or Megan's channel, but not very often. I mean, really, we've kind of put a lot of that down because watching all of that,
It causes a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, because
it's like PTSD, and you get into that mindset.
We like all of them, and we support all of them.
Yeah.
But a lot of the topics they're talking about are not.
I just can't do it. It's easier for all the people that have never been involved, and you're sitting on the sidelines, you know. And of course, I want to know the outcome of it all, but I just can't listen to it every day because it puts me in that wrong mindset, and it reminds me of the times we were in that. So I just can't. So it's not that I don't follow anybody because I don't like them,
right?
But I just find better uplifting things to listen to.
Yeah, it can be very time consuming to listen.
Here and there I might catch little pieces, but I don't actively listen to anybody.
Yeah.
So
we got back to living our life. You know, our life is the one that matters.
So I really, like I was saying earlier, I really only know what's going on if somebody emails me something or sends me something important along those lines, or I see like somebody makes a comment on one of the videos about something and I get little tidbits. Now,
sometimes Veteran Nation will drop me a line. Sometimes Jeremy might drop me a line if it's significant. Otherwise, keeping up with the daily changes and the weekly changes, it's just too much.
I was looking for if the expert had put out a post about it or anything, but I didn't see any post about it, so I don't know where else to look. But we'll see.
So if you have the dates, location, people, or whatever, just email them to Madam Mayor's Adventures. We'll get it.
Thanks, guys, for joining us. And again, I want to thank our moderators. You guys are fabulous, putting all our links up.
It took a while to get started.
And thank you so much to all our members who hang out with us. We try to put something out about once a week. No tight commitment on that. Sometimes it's every week and a half to 2 weeks, but it's usually about once a week. So thank you again for all our moderators and our subscribers, and of course it's free to subscribe. And just thank you to everybody. We love hanging out with you and chit-chatting.
And we challenge you to reach out to one person that you haven't talked to in a long time and just say, hi, been thinking about you, how you doing? That's it. Don't expect anything.
Well, you should never expect anything from anybody. And you should never put anybody up on a pedestal.
You might be surprised at the response. I've gotten a response this week that I was surprised.
Yeah,
it wasn't anything major. I got a response. I didn't think I'd get a response at all.
Yeah, you never know.
So you never know.
And again, usually the reason people don't talk is really silly stuff.
It really is. Because in the very end, it doesn't matter. In the very end, it doesn't matter. So be good to each other. We love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate you very much.
And we'll see you again sometime soonish.
Yes.
You like that?
Soonish. No structure, no schedule. Love it. Get out there, live life, be good to others, and they'll be good to you, hopefully. If not, then find some new people. Find some new peeps.
You can only control yourself.
That's
Just
all you can
remember that. You
control.
can't control other people.
And if people want to act a certain way, just walk away and find somebody else
And say a prayer for them.
and pray for them. Yep, that's hard to do.
All right, y'all take care of each other.
Yep, thanks guys.
Bye.
Peace. You guys have fun and thanks for hanging out with us.
Talk to you soon, Jason.